Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone 0, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. For those of you that remember me complaining about a certain somebody cursing my pulls last week from Remielle, thankfully justice has been served, and they also got spooked in their pulls by none other than Collida as well, so all is right in the world. But hey, if the Collida buffs are rumored to be true, then we're gonna be thriving soon, hopefully, maybe, potentially. Otherwise though, starting off as always with in-game news, over the weekend of course was the big reveal for the patch 3.2 banners, namely Claret, the Electric Armorer, and Roxy, the Wind Stunner. Again, they are really after our polychromes with these exclusive power creep baits 3 patches in a row. First, there was the first Wind Agent, then the first Lumen Agent, and now our first Armorer Agent. Of course, both of these will be S-rank agents, with Claret being in the first half of the patch, as she was shown off first, and then Roxy in the second half of the patch. Otherwise, later this week, starting on the 12th, will be the start of a triple drop period for area control to get even more disk drives. If you've been like me and you've been neglecting your disks, or you're sort of just getting by with good enough disks, this will be a great time to try and fish for some better disks. The triple drop period will be from the 12th until the 17th, so for 5 days. And then on Friday will be our regularly scheduled Deadly Assault reset. This week, the bosses on rotation will be the Gerblalulu, once again, get used to seeing that name every week, as well as the Thrall Yeshuan, and lastly, the Miasma Priest. Also, for those of you who have been enjoying the photo event that is currently in-game right now, you'll be happy to know that there is actually, once again, an official contest happening on Twitter for some of the best photos. If you follow the official Zenless Zone 0 account and then post one of your in-game screenshots alongside the hashtag ZZZNews, either on your own profile or as a response to the tweet linked in the description below, then you can stand a chance to win some polychrome or even an acrylic stand featuring the Sparkling Wonderland band art. Before we continue though, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor for today's video, a new game called Hi Fami. If you invite 3 people to Hi Fami using your own personal referral link, you can actually even get a 30-cent reward. It's super simple. Just share your invite link, and then once they download the game and register, you're good to go. Hi Fami is honestly a pretty fun mix of 2 different styles of games. On one side, you've got this really relaxing farming experience where you can grow crops, raise cute animals, customize your farm, and just chill while building everything up. Then, whenever you want something a bit more competitive, you can jump into the Monopoly-style multiplayer mode where you roll dice, buy properties, and compete against friends or other players online. I really like that you can switch between the two depending on your mood. Sometimes you just want to relax and work on your farm, and other times you want to see if you can outplay everyone in a multiplayer match. And like I mentioned earlier, if you've got friends who enjoy mobile games, you can invite them as well with your personal referral link, and then once 3 new users download and register using that link, you'll receive a 30-cent referral reward. So it's a nice bonus while you're all playing together. So if you want to check it out, download Hi Fami using my link in the description below. Moving on to the social media side of things though, after apparently spooking everyone in their pools, she is now celebrating her birthday. So happy birthday to Collida, as well as anybody else who has a birthday in the coming week. Otherwise, there are some new freebies up for grabs this week, this time around in the form of some Remielle wallpapers that you can download in the beautiful 4K resolution, featuring several select shots from her promotional videos. The links to these can be found over in the description down below as always. And don't forget that later on towards the end of the month is Gamescom in Köln, Germany, running from August 26th to August 30th. So if you'll be attending Gamescom, then be sure to check out the booth to experience some unique booth events as well as nab some exclusive gifts too. The booth will feature things like photo opportunities, trivia challenges, cosplay events, and more. Speaking of some IRL events though, there were also some lovely recap posts showing some cool things that happened over at HoyoFest across the various locations in Southeast Asia, as well as the Operation Yum pop-up shop collaboration that was held in Berlin. So if you like what you see and you're considering going to Gamescom, be sure to stop by that booth, and maybe you can take part in stuff like this as well. And then lastly, as for the speculation zone, there hasn't been much else new coming in from patch 3.2 in terms of news about the Armorer class and how it functions, because for the most part it's kind of set in stone right now. But something that did get an update was to Claret's model, where it now includes a small little scar that appears on her back, with some marks of what looks to be little stitch holes as well. Now, whether this was meant to be something that was always there and they just forgot about it until now, or if they included it and updated it now only, it's hard to say, right? After all, it is still just a beta, and we've known that they are capable of making some really drastic changes to models before release. For example, there was the whole Lucia sort of redesign, right, with her outfit. But maybe who knows? This is like the equivalent of a beauty mark, maybe? A small little imperfection on the model that makes the character a bit more grounded and makes them feel more real real in a sense. You know, they're not that perfect. Or who knows, maybe this scar is actually, you know, got some lore implications behind it, and it's gonna have some relevance to Claret's backstory or something. You know, it'd be a great way to have an excuse to bring back those individual agent stories where maybe there's a tragic surgery that Claret had in the past or something like that, and her individual story can go into depth about that. And this scar is a sign of that. And we'd experience that through story episodes like we used to get back in season 1. But alas, those were scrapped so that we could rather have both agents' stories integrated into the main story, which, I'll be honest, still doesn't do as good of a job as each agent having their own stories, but oh well, what can we do about it? Otherwise, we also have some details about the big event that'll take place during patch 3.2, and that is going to be a pinball style event. No footage or screenshots of the actual gameplay is available just yet, but some of the UI items have been found, so look forward to playing some pinball once patch 3.2 does roll around. We've even got some different balls based on the different characters. One other major gameplay change that will take place in patch 3.2 though is some changes to the assists and their indicators. Right now, the way it works is that if you have a teammate who is able to perform an assist for an incoming attack, the indicator will flash yellow. There are two types of assists, the defensive assist and the evasive assist. The defensive assist are more common, as those are the ones that you can physically parry, and that's the one that you're probably thinking of normally. But every now and then though, there are some attacks that can only be assisted if you have somebody on the team with an evasive assist. Most notably are some of the attacks from the Unknown Corruption Complex, the big spider mech. But if you do have somebody on the team who can perform an evasive assist when one of these attacks does come around, the indicator will still show as yellow, basically indicating that you do have an assist ready. Right now, yellow assist means that you have a parry available or an assist available, and a red one means that you kind of have to dodge this, right? Because if for whatever reason you're not able to perform an assist, the attack indicator will show as red, whether it be because you don't have an evasive assist on your team or whether it be because you ran out of assist points to perform any assist attacks. What's changing in patch 3.2 is that now yellow flashes will always mean defensive parry assists, and red flashes will always mean an attack that requires an evasive assist. Even if you do have the appropriate evasive assist agent ready on your team, it'll still show as red. Honestly, unless we actually start getting more agents that have evasive assists, this probably doesn't change much since almost all agents that people are using these days all have defensive assists, right? The last new agent with an evasive assist was actually Pulchra, very long ago. So unless you're actually actively using an evasive assist agent, you probably won't feel this change at all because the attacks will still appear as red because you still won't have an evasive assist ready for it, so you'll still have to dodge manually. But I think the main point of this change is just to clear up any confusion that is brought up for the few people out there that are using evasive assist characters, mixed in specifically with defensive assists as well. Because for example, let's say you're on the field and you see an attack coming, and you see it's a gold attack, so you can trigger an assist, right? You press the assist button to go forward to the next character, but for some reason, the previous agent comes out instead. Why is that? Well, that's because the incoming attack was actually something that could only be dealt with using an evasive assist. So the game forcefully chose the evasive assist character who happened to be in the previous slot, even though you pressed the assist to the forward character, right? And this might mess with your head a little and mess with your timings and stuff like that. But now at least with the change, you know what type of attack is coming, and so if you are going to trigger an assist, you can have a better idea of who it is that'll come out. Again though, I'm not entirely sure how relevant this will be considering how few evasive assist agents there actually are out there and how rarely they get used to, but who knows, maybe it's a sign of upcoming agents that are going to have evasive assists. And maybe this is them trying to make them more streamlined to use a bit early, but only time will tell though. Otherwise, that is everything that happened this week. If you made it to the end of the video, then leaving a like as well as commenting and subscribing would be greatly appreciated. And so, until next time, bye bye!